This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate on a Friday. I'm Tito Jeff Thitoff. Bobby Carpenter to my left. Bodie Wells. A little bit further to his right than he normally is. Trying to figure out the studio here. We're getting stuff switched around here, Bodie. Yesterday you talked about it. It was kind of weird. We're moving a little bit closer and closer towards the edge here before we flip it around. Bob, good morning. How are you?
Good. They call it tectonic creep. Like, so if you lived in California, you'd move like a couple inches every year.
Right.
And so this is what you're experiencing, Bodie.
Tectonic creep?
Yeah.
The tectonic creep's okay. I've never heard that first.
Like plate tectonics, like we're on these giant pads that slide around on top of the Earth's surface.
Okay.
Underneath's a lot of lava and things that we cruise over. That's where volcanoes come from.
Right.
You familiar with that?
I'm familiar with volcanoes, yeah.
You don't know what plate tectonics are?
I've never heard plate tectonics, no. I've never heard
you,
that phrase.
You did go to Brookhaven, so.
Whoop, whoop, the haven. Good morning, Bob.
You went to a school where people laid around on beanbags and smoked cigarettes outside.
First of all, there were no beanbags at Brookhaven, dog.
I'm talking about your elementary school, whatever that nonsense was.
Douglas Alternative Elementary School, Bob.
Yeah. Well, I think that explains a lot. We've already adjudicated that, though. We'll let that rest.
A lot of big words I don't understand. I'll take them as disrespect. 2 full hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, HD3. Download the show anytime. Catch us 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Bode, Facebook, Twitter. Heck, seems like a fair time to ask that question.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Probably
that's all right.
I think as we've shifted the table, maybe some things have gotten unplugged a little bit here along the way.
Rattled loose.
So, but we're all good. Yeah, we're rolling here.
There's a rap group called Stetsasonic, Bob. Instead of Technotronic, Stetsasonic. Stetsasonic was a group.
There you
go. All That Jazz was their big hit back in 1988. Anyway, Morning Juice sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin. I think I already said that. Bob, we have a big show lineup for you. AJ Hawk will join us for the final segment. Ask AJ. We will do that. I don't know, Bob, if this is breaking news or not, but Michael J. Fox is still alive.
Yeah. I mean, he has Parkinson's?
He's got one of those, yes. I think it's Parkinson's, yes.
All right.
Anyway, though, but because CNN did like a in memory thing they ran.
When?
Yesterday.
It's good on like their national news?
Yeah, like they did a thing
that's why I don't watch like national news programs.
Let's see. A CNN spokesperson said that they package was published in error. We root for our platforms and our apologies to Michael J. Fox and his family. They did one of those things where like they played something in memory of Michael J. Fox like he had died. Now, at the Dispatch, when I used to work there, Bob, we had like pre-written pieces on people that we figured would die at some point rather soon. You know, like, so there was a thing on, I'm sure, on Ali. There's a thing on Nicholas. I'm sure it was somewhere in the system. Like guys like, you know, significant sports figures. And there was stuff that was pre-written just to get it out there right away if they needed to.
Oh, yeah. They already have it in the can.
Right. So the Michael
Nothing
J. Fox.
else is happening.
Right. So,
I mean, there's a lot of prominent sports figures.
Yeah.
Or just celebrities
right.
that people already have their stuff pre-written about. Like you start crossing a certain threshold and you get into failing health. People start working on those things and they get them all pre-produced and so they can have them ready to fire. They put some finishing touches on them. They're ready to go. So you don't have to go from, soup to nuts. You're already at the appetizer, probably drinking, or at the dessert, drinking a coffee. And all they got to do is pay the bill then at that point.
So, yeah, apparently CNN has something like that, which I understand. And I don't
know who, was that unaware that they just
launched. Or what? Yeah, I don't know, Bob. I don't know, but it's he retired acting in 2020. So that's the point we can probably start. Okay, he's not going to act anymore. Let's.
They probably have one done for Bruce Willis.
Yes, Bruce Willis probably that one. Yes, you're right. They probably do.
Have had one done for Jack for a while.
Yeah, I think so too.
As you get older, I mean, your basically career is written.
Yep.
Let's put that together. We don't need. I mean, there might be a little bit of finishing touches on the end, but let's start producing this bad boy.
But also, then along those lines, have we written run for the Blue Jackets already for this season? They lost 5-0 yesterday, Bob.
Yeah, that's not good.
They are now.
They're still only 2 points out of it.
Well, they're 2 points behind the Flyers.
Point behind the Islanders.
A point behind.
It starts to get to the amount of teams you have to jump to, which is tough. So that's
Ottawa's got 94 points. The Jackets.
I think the wild card might be cooked.
Yeah, the wild card's cooked. Yeah, you got Ottawa with 94, then followed by Red Wings and Islanders each with 91, and then Jackets with 90. The Flyers are third in the Metro. They have 92 points. There's 3 games left. The first tiebreaker is regulation wins, which the Jackets have that tiebreaker right now over Philly, but still, it's going to, man, Bob, I'm telling you, a 5-0 loss. It's.
Let me hear your profound statement on this. It's not good.
It's over. It's over. They're not going to make the playoffs now. They won't get in now.
Why do you think that that's the case?
Because the fact they're 2 points behind Philly and 3 games left, and just the way the team has played lately. I mean, I understand losing at Buffalo. Buffalo's a damn good team, Bob. But losing that way in a important...
Does it matter how you lose?
I think it does.
Do you get less points?
No,
do they
Bob,
take
you don't get
points
less
away?
Points. No, Bob, you don't get less points. But, okay, let's just say go back to your career. If you're getting ready to go to a bowl game, if you lose to Michigan 38-7 versus losing 21-20, it's still a loss. You don't think it matters at all?
Nope. That's why they're professionals. It might matter to you. It might matter to me. Matter to fans, people watching. But there is a momentum piece that I believe is accurate that can be attributed. But also, these are professional athletes. They're paid to go out there and perform. And you have 3 games left.
Right.
You probably need at least 5 points.
Yeah. That sounds accurate.
I think you might be able to handle 1 overtime loss, but you probably need 2 from every other game.
Yeah.
But that game that you're playing against Buffalo, it's not like you go into the next game down 5-0.
Oh, I know you don't, Bob, but
they're professionals. They're professionals. And you like look around and look up in the air. That's the difference between how you look at it, and a professional athlete.
So it's not
can't go back and relegate that game. Can't go and re-win it. Move on.
But Bob, if let's say
move on. I'm going to tell you right now, Thitoff, you're going to give me a million scenarios, and I'm going to tell you that's why when you watch professional athletes and teams, and there's teams that limp into the playoffs,
right?
And then all of a sudden they go win it. And you're like, well, what happened? I'm like, well, you can compartmentalize things. Something bad happens, you put it in a box, you throw it away.
You don't think losing 3 games in a row, if they lost 5-0, 3 games in a row.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter if they lose 3 games in a row.
All you got to do is win the next one.
All right.
That's how a fan looks at it. That's why college sports is different than professional sports. Because you let 1 loss become 2. That's how Penn State lost to Oregon and then lost to Northwestern.
Well, they're professionals now.
And you say, they're not though.
Okay.
They're not, because their minds are different. Like they haven't been conditioned to understand. We lost our first game when I played in Dallas. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh my gosh, we lost the Jacksonville opening game.
You were devastated, yeah? Or not devastated,
I was just like this. I'm like, dude, game's over. Watch the film, learn, move on. Can't go back and win it. Let's go win the next one.
Cavs in Atlanta tonight at 7 o'clock. Marlins beat the Reds 8-1. Reds host the Angels at 6:45. Guards in Atlanta at 7:15. Speaking of professionals, Bob, Bryson DeChambeau yesterday. He was made the turn at even par. And then he was getting out of a bunker on the 11th. And it took him 3 shots to get out of the bunker.
Yeah. Welcome to professional golf.
It's welcome to golf. Welcome to Tito world there. 3 shots out of a bunker.
That's the thing. It's unrelenting. I love watching, especially U.S. Open, because those guys can really suck it off there. I mean, that's bad.
Sam Burns, Rory McIlroy tied for the lead at 5 under
Rory,
par.
how about that?
That's something that's good.
So here's my point.
Yeah.
Rory McIlroy has not played good golf this year. Your boy Gerbs just came in here yesterday. He's like, I would not take him. And I'm not saying he's going to win it.
Right.
But all of a sudden you come in there and he goes and shoots 5 under.
Right.
Why? Because it's every day is a new opportunity. Every shot is a new. That's how you have to look at it. What got you there to that point has no bearing on where you're moving forward.
Bob, you're right. In theory, I think
that's not in theory.
Okay,
that's the difference between a normal person and an elite level competitor.
So what about a player who gets the yips then? Like Greg Norman had the
That's the difference between an elite person and a normal person.
But Norman was elite, though. Norman was the best golfer in the world for a long time.
Was he?
Yeah, he was number one golfer in the world, Bob, for like 3 years.
Because points said that?
Because of performance, how they rate it, yes, but he was ranked the number one golfer.
That doesn't mean that he's the best guy finishing it out. There's a difference why certain people can close and certain people are just really talented. Greg Norman, really, really talented.
I think he won
Watching
2
him
of the
melt
British
down
Opens.
psychologically.
Right.
Yeah, he won a couple of British. Those don't even count.
Well, Bob, they count as one of the 4 majors.
Yeah.
But he never won a major on U.S. soil.
Of course.
But he was for a couple years.
Just like the Japanese, just like the Germans.
When the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor.
They may take a game, but they're not winning in 7.
Okay.
The gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, I don't think gentlemanly about what the Germans and Japanese did with us. I don't know if that was a gentleman's sweep there. Anyway, but Masters gets back on again today, and again Roy at 5 under. I think Jason Day shot 3 under.
Yeah, he's in it.
Yeah, so good for him on that one. And we'll see how the Masters does play out. Yeah, Gurr's Rory thing was more about the fact that just he couldn't get good odds on it. I don't think Scheffler was another one never on his card because you can't get good odds on Scheffler. He's 2 under par. He is tied among a gaggle of golfers there, 2 under par. Justin Rose, somebody who Gurr.
There's a lot of good names that are under par in striking distance, which is fun. John Rahm, not one of those guys.
Not one of those guys. That is fair to say, Bob, on that one. Anyway.
Watched him at 4 over yesterday, taking a couple of hacks at it.
Yeah.
So that looked more. There we go. It's like Bryson, get back down here.
Okay. Rooting for Rory, rooting for Day,
Rory.
Rooting for Scheffler.
Yeah, I root for those guys. That'll give me something to watch on Sunday.
Do you root against anybody? Is that a laugh track out there?
Yeah,
feels like I heard a laugh track. Go ahead.
We're getting closer to the doors.
That's what it is. Yes, you're right. We are. It's
Sergio.
You root against Sergio.
Yeah,
I don't even. Is he playing this week?
No, I don't
He's
think
not.
he is. I think he's almost
Yeah.
done. But I love rooting against Sergio.
Do you root against Patrick Reed?
I'm indifferent on Patrick Reed. I know some people love him, some people hate him. I mean, if you're not going to tip people and take care of business, I mean, I'm going to try to stay out of that. But I'm indifferent on him.
I got you.
Did someone call him Captain America?
I think he did get called Captain America.
That's a terrible
Steve
analogy.
Rogers?
You can't put that on that guy. He's a doughboy, and I don't think he's a great person. So
I don't know if any golfer can earn that claim, if I'm being honest.
Captain America?
Captain
Yeah,
America.
probably not.
Tiger Woods in his prime was in pretty good shape.
That's true. Yeah.
Bryson and Brooksy, those guys are big.
I'm just saying, like,
Captain America.
everybody's behind them, like, you know.
I think there was a time where everybody was behind Phil.
I think there was too. Yes.
Phil had lost so much. You only know Phil, the 5 major winner. There was a time where he was in like the Charles Barkley conversation, like greatest never to win one. I'm dead serious, and he was like in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
People were beginning to wonder,
I
like,
didn't know that.
is he ever going to win any? And then he wins. He won 3 Masters.
I think the 3, because I think that he and Tiger have combined for 8. So that'd be 5 for Tiger, 3 for him.
3 Masters, a PGA, and maybe 2 British or 1 British, 2 PGAs.
He hasn't won the Grand Slam, has he?
No, he's never won the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
he's finished
because
here's part of it. He's finished second bogey at the U.S. Open like 12, not 12. It's like 7. It's like 7 times though.
He's had the lead like with a few holes left, and then loses and comes in like 5th.
He has won the Masters 3 times: 04, 06, 2010. Won the PGA Championship 05 and then 21.
That's the second.
It's been 5 years ago now.
Yeah,
right.
Won the British Open in 2013, and then tied for second at the U.S. Open 99. 02, 04, 06, 09, and 13.
6 times.
6 times.
So, I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like there was a time where he was very lovable because they felt bad and Tiger would just beat.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he flipped it, and then he won that last one, which was pretty great.
All right, Bob, make me smarter. I think, unless Bodie's going to play it now. There we go.
Oh, I can't even play it either.
You can't?
That's great.
I can't do it either on this side. So are you going to play sound from this?
I should.
From YouTube?
Let's find
out. Let's find out.
Here's the first. I'm just going to fire this for 2 seconds. Oh, of course. Okay.
All right,
this
Bob.
should work. Hold on 1 second. You can go ahead, Carp, but I should have the first one ready for you here.
Well, there's no sound. I have no juice. It is. It's the 100th day of the year, for heaven's sake. April 10th, 265 remaining. The state 1865 after surrendering Robert E. at Appomattox to Ulysses S. Grant. I heard that.
There we go.
I just heard that too.
So Robert E. Lee addresses his troops for the final time Bo was sure to bring up yesterday that Ulysses S. Grant also from Ohio. So
U.S.
bend in the knee. What do you mean U.S.?
U.S. Grant. Ulysses S. Grant, right?
Yeah.
U.S.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying.
This date, 1872, the first Arbor Day is celebrated out in Nebraska. 1912, Titanic sets sail from Southampton on its maiden and only voyage. One and done. Before there was Odin. Before there was there were one and dones in college hoops. The Titanic was leading the way.
Didn't even get the black stripe removed.
On this date, 1947, Jackie Robinson joins the Dodgers. Doesn't play for 5 more days, but this was the date he officially joined the team. 1962, the first game in Dodgers Stadium. They fall to the Reds 6-3.
I remember vividly going over and watching the move. I think it was something like 16 million cubic yards of dirt, something like that. Those big earth movers, they'd be on the side of the hill. You would think they have to turn and fall down. And it was thrilling and frightening to watch them do what they eventually did. Dig a hole in this mountainous area. And that was the origin of Dodger Stadium, going all the way back to Holman Stadium in Vero Beach.
All the way back to Holman Stadium in Vero Beach. Oh, goodness. Also on this date, 1973, Led Zeppelin's album House of Cards is certified gold.
That's a banger.
That's a good one. Led Zeppelin, they've got a pretty wide catalog. It's very impressive.
10 albums, though. I think that's all they had.
I'd say it's 10 more than you and I have written. So,
well, I know, but I'm just saying, like they for their very short span till John Bonham died. Yeah, a lot of great music.
Hey, listen, man, you burn bright. That's all that matters. Shine bright like a diamond.
Was it House of the Holy was the name? I think of them. I don't think it was a House of Cards album.
I think you're right on that, because when I was trying to Google it yesterday, I was like, I can't seem to find this.
Sorry about that. Maybe it was House of the Holy. I may have written it down wrong. I start getting distracted sometimes. This date, 1985, Madonna begins her first tour, Like a Virgin, opening with the Beastie Boys as one of her opening acts. And then on this date, 1995, New York City bans smoking in all restaurants with a capacity of greater than 35.
And I would really urge the mayor to listen to the public. Listen to the Europeans who are telling us we are ridiculous. When we have so many things wrong in this country, why are we focusing on something like smoking?
I think there's a real problem for a restaurant owner knowing whether he or she is in compliance. The law is extremely complicated with square feet, number of seats, so many feet from a bar. You could be a criminal and not know it.
You could be a criminal not
smoking is going to save lives.
That's right.
Beastie Boys, Bob. I don't know if you know this or not. One of the members of the Beastie Boys is a son of Neil Diamond.
I did not know that.
Neil Diamond, the famous, Sweet Caroline. His son was in Beastie Boys.
Out.
Yes.
There you go. This day, 2005, I'm going to butcher her last name, Natalie Imbruglia's third album, Count Down the Days, is released, or hits number 1, and Torn being the big time single off of that.
That's what's going on. Nothing's fine, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel.
There we go.
It'd be much better if we had that background.
It really would. It's such an abrupt stop.
I know, right?
I'm running into a glass door every time.
Canary.
Some birthdays today. Born in the state, 1796. The famed frontiersman Jim Bowie was born. I don't think he's related to David in any way, but we'll have to look that
Brother
up.
of another mother.
He died at the Alamo.
Who didn't?
Oh, there's a lot of people that didn't, but him and Davy Crockett.
Most people even, really.
All the big ones died, though.
The big ones. That's Listen, that was the big deal. Chuck Connors, born on this date, 1921. One of the few men, the only guy that I've ever found to play both in the MLB and NBA, playing for the Cubs and Celtics, and starring in the TV show The Rifleman. How about that?
Yeah, he was a actor also, and then I think he was a tall blonde-haired guy.
Of course, he played in the NBA. He's not going to be short.
I'm saying blonde-haired guy. I'm saying that's what I remember. I think if he's not mistaken, that's what he was.
He was in black and white. The Rifleman was.
Dirty blonde.
There you go. Born on this date, 1936, one of the premier commentators and a Super Bowl champion, Mr. John Madden.
Here's Joe Morris in motion. Sims straight back. Spider-Man Bobby Johnson is knocked down at the last second. Somebody threw a shoe. There's a pigeon on the field. How did he get in there?
Well, he wanted to get down there. He couldn't get a seat. He tried to get up above, and there was no place. The only place there was only that he could land was right there.
He was in the middle of the action. I thought the shoe came off.
I'll tell you, there's the throw. Johnson really has him beat. And there's the pigeon was right there where Johnson was running. I think there were two pigeons there. Johnson's trying to run a post pattern, and the pigeon's getting away.
And they're still there.
That's, the old thing, you can run down to the pigeon and turn left.
Three very distinctive careers for him. I mean, Super Bowl winning head coach, one of the all-time best color guys, and then also the video game thing.
Yeah.
No one else has pulled off that trifecta, I believe.
There we go. Interesting note about Ulysses S. Grant. His name was Hiram Ulysses Grant, and the S came from an errant nomination when he was at West Point by a Ohio congressman. So there you go.
It's like Tito. There was an error at the dispatch thing where instead of Thit in the login, it turned into Tito because they forgot the H. That's how the nickname came about.
You decided to grab it as your own nickname.
No, that's what they all called me there, Bob.
I don't know if that's... I've never heard anyone call you Tito that you haven't probably seeded with that nickname.
No, Bob,
Anybody who I've met that you knew prior to working here,
right.
I'll call you Jeff.
I don't know, man. Boothby calls me Tito.
Who?
My buddy Andy Boothby, I've known for 30 years.
Okay.
There's other guys. Yeah, other people that are like...
But he wasn't at the dispatch, so that wouldn't be... he wouldn't have been part of that nickname.
Ray Stein called me Tito.
Okay, we'll have to confirm that. We'll have to get a hold of him.
He works at the UA library, I think.
There we go. Well, should be easy to track down.
Yes.
Maybe a little easier than a guy who was to track down than Dandy Don Meredith, born on this date, 1938.
But in 1970, he landed a job as an announcer on a new show on ABC television called Monday Night Football. A fixture on Monday nights for 12 years, Meredith left the show after the 1984 season. Though he was the second inductee into the Cowboys Ring of Honor in 1976, Don Meredith will be most remembered for his irreverent personality, especially for the Willie Nelson song he made famous on Monday nights.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end.
He left in 84 for good, Bob, but he left before that also, like in the mid-70s. After they really got big, I think it was CBS or NBC. Somebody came after with an offer to where they would, they made him also put him in TV, made-for-TV movies and stuff like that. And he left at that point, at the height of Monday Night Football at the time, and left and then ended up coming back after that. But yeah, he was. That's when
was that the height of Monday Night Football?
I would think. Well, I mean, at the moment, it was. I shouldn't say the height overall, but I'm saying as it was ascending and it was the most popular show still.
Yeah.
And that's when he left. I think they brought in Alex Karras.
Really?
The former NFL player. Alex Karras did for a couple years.
Mongo?
Yeah, right. Yes. Oh, yeah, Mongo.
I know who Alex Karras
yes.
is.
Also, then they had Tarkenton. They had OJ and Joe Namath doing it. There was a year where Frank Gifford was the play-by-play guy, and you had OJ and Namath as your color guys. You talk about bad.
That sounds great, to tell you the truth. I mean, that's the juice. He's got get you loose.
I understand.
Speaking of OJ, Mel Blount turning his 78 today, the 4-time All-Pro and 4-time Super Bowl winner and Hall of Famer with the Steelers.
In 1975, Mel Blount led the league in interceptions and became the first cornerback to be named Defensive Player of the Year. For 14 seasons, he was an offense-crushing combination of raw talent and nasty temperament.
One of the things that I always wanted to do was let people know that this is my territory. If you come in here, you're going to have to pay.
There we go. You come in here, you have to pay. Born on this date, 1950, turning 76 years old, 3-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champ. Member of the Big Red Machine, Mr. Ken Griffey Sr.
Well hit to center field. Devon White going back. Gone! A 2-run home run.
And he can still hit anybody's fastball.
An instantaneous 2-0 Seattle lead. He hits one well to left center field. Dante Bichette. Back-to-back home runs.
What else can these guys do?
What else can these guys do? There we go. Turning 74 today, the legendary actor Steve Seagal.
Do me a favor. Tell me something. You really think blowing up a bunch of innocent people is going to change anything? What made you flip like this?
I got tired of coming up with last-minute desperate solutions to impossible problems created by other people.
All of your ridiculous, pitiful antics aren't going to change a thing. You and I, we're puppets in the same sick play. We serve the same master. And he's a lunatic and he's ungrateful. There's nothing we can do about it. You and I, we're the same.
Oh, no. No. There's a difference, my man. You have faith. I don't.
Yeah, he and Van Damme, part of that genre of like just violent fighting movies.
There we go. Some good stuff. The rapper singer Babyface turning 67 today. Steve Tasker, the 5-time first-team All-Pro, turning 64. Probably should you pull like a nice little montage of all of his blocked punts over the years. Mandy Moore, though, turning 42. There we go. And the Klubot, Corey Kluber, turning the big 4-0 today.
Pitch number 33 of the night is right down the middle, struck him out. Struck him out, and Kluber comes up with strikeout number 3. A strikeout ends the inning. Struck him out, chasing a breaking ball down and out of the strike zone. That's strikeout number 6. And hard hit. Play is made by the third baseman Ramirez, and another strong effort by Corey Kluber.
That win gave the Cleveland Indians a 3-1 lead in the 2016 World Series.
How'd that turn out for them?
Unfortunately, after that.
Other than that, how was the play?
Okay, and finally, passing away on this date, 2 years ago today, a Heisman Trophy winner, a Hall of Famer, a 2,000-yard rusher, Orenthal, James Simpson, better known
Hey, Twitter
as
world,
the
this
Juice.
is yours. Hey, Twitter world, this is yours truly. Now, coming soon to Twitter, you'll get to read all my thoughts and opinions on just about everything. Now, there's a lot of fake OJ accounts out there, so this one, at the real OJ32, is the only official one. So this should be a lot of fun. I got a little getting even to do. So God bless. Take care.
In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's probably... You don't get worse luck than that.
Getting even to do.
You can't have worse luck than that.
That doesn't sound like a good time.
2,003 yards in 1973 in a 14-game season.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He was the first to do it.
Yeah.
So good job out of you, OJ. He's probably smiling, looking down or up at you, buddy.
Bob, look, that's your poll question. Is OJ looking down or up?
There we go.
I think he's looking up.
How will he be best remembered, buddy? Let's try to figure out four good answers.
Listen,
to that.
We put a poll out there for OJ one time before, and it was a good one.
It was a
and
good.
Some people didn't like it, I guess, but
It's got to go across all shows, I guess.
I think that does. It's
I
the
thought
day
it
that he
did, too.
passed.
I'm with you.
He's a Hall of Famer and a Heisman Trophy winner, a Big Ten member, by the way.
Let me ask you.
I saw. Did you see they're putting together a piece for the
Are they
Big Ten
really?
Open? Yeah,
nice.
All the great running backs. O.J. Simpson, headliner, right there.
how pissed off is Orange Juice? Because now you're associated with him. I mean, when he was good, when he was like running through the airport stuff, like you're OJ, oh, that's really cool. But now it's like, oh, hey, how about a glass of oat? Oh, can't do it anymore.
It'll juice you up. Some holidays observances today. Oh, it is National Farm Animals Day. It's Hug Your Dog Day. National Sibling Day. There we go. How about that? And it's Orthodox Good Friday. Sunday will be the Orthodox. Easter is they're usually a week behind. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date. Friday, April 10th, a musicless Friday, the 100th day of the year, and 265 days remaining in this 2026.
Well done, as always, General. Orthodox James Simpson. We should do it that. We call him Orthodox now. Let's do
O.J.
that.
Simpson?
Yeah.
Not a Jew.
That's what I heard. I've heard that also.
Adam Sandler told me that.
Adam Sandler said that, yes. And
Hall of Famer Rod Carew?
Yes.
He converted.
He did convert. Yes, he did. William Shatner. Leonard Nimoy was Shatner wasn't, right? Nimoy,
Goldie Hawn's a quarter Jewish. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Good call by you there on that one, Bob. Well done. All right, coming up next, a current championship coach is not happy about the state of the game. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here. You know, there was a time if you handed me a bread basket at dinner, it was like feeding a gator. You might lose a finger. Bread, pasta, pizza, man, carbs were undefeated in my life. That is, until Awaken 180 weight loss came in and flipped the script. Look, I've run the gauntlet of diets, and each time, carbs won by knockout. But Awaken 180 isn't a diet. It's a whole new playbook for changed up lifestyle. We all know it's necessary to lose that weight, but this is to keep it off. That constant carb craving, the one we all shrug off as normal, gone. Sure, I still love my pizza. But here's the difference. Now I don't need it. So now, most times when that waiter hustles over with a basket of temptation, I just grin, give a little nod, and wave it away like I'm passing on a 4th and long. Because I'm in control now. Awaken 180 isn't just a game changer, it's a life changer. Trust me. Call them at 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. Your future self will thank you.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
3 people, 3 different kinds of joint pain, 1 decision to do something about it. The solution, not surgery, it was QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
I wanted to use my own body to hopefully regenerate and get rid of that pain. So it's been 3 months and my back is significantly better.
The pain in my knees was pretty severe, so I came here, and even after the first treatment, I noticed an incredible difference. If you have pain in any part of your body, this is the place to go.
I couldn't go to the gym anymore, and I couldn't play with my grandkids. That's why I made the decision to come here to QC Kinetics, and it was the best decision that I ever made for my own health. This works. Don't do surgery.
Finally, relief for 3 real patients. Lives transformed through QC Kinetics non-surgical treatments. Your story could be next. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
I'm Brian Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
I referenced it in the break there, Brody. Anthony Davis on December 2nd, 1972. Returned the opening kickoff for USC. So this is December when they played the game against Notre Dame, USC. Anthony Davis had 97-yard kick return to start the game. Notre Dame came back, and actually there was a deficit, but they cut it to 25-23, but then he had a 96-yard kick return on the ensuing kickoff. Also scored on touchdown runs of 1, 5, 4, and 8 yards. So 6 touchdowns in that game as the number 1 Trojans won 45-23 over Notre Dame at the LA Coliseum.
Is he still with us?
I think Anthony Davis might be. He went to Canada.
I was going to say, if not, he's rolling over in his grave.
Yes.
Thinking about Lincoln Riley being a coward and backing out of the series.
That feels
personal.
A little personal there on that one. That you didn't. If Anthony Davis is not dead, good. But if he is dead, good also, because he's rolling over in his grave. So at the cowardice of one Lincoln Riley, Bob, UConn. Dan Hurley's got a couple of national titles under his belt there.
Yep.
Lost this season in the final in the championship game to Michigan, and he is talking about. He was on the Dan Patrick Show yesterday. And he called the current state of the transfer portal terrible. And he said it's terrible what's going on right now.
I'd say it sounds pretty accurate for most people.
Pretty Barkley-esque, too. I think it says terrible. But I think we all have to get to a point, and it's not terrible since of NIL. I think the NIL, the players is awesome. I think as college programs right now, you literally have to have a front office that takes over at this point in the year. The college programs have got to start being run like an NBA organization. He was also asked about the transfer portal, the problems it causes for teams. And he's talking about like how many portal guys each team will have. And he said, maybe 4 to 5 out of 15. And he said between turning pro, players having the role they want here, so they test the draft process. Obviously, there's tampering that's been going on. There's tampering the entire year, even players that aren't in the portal. He's not wrong, but I don't think there is a viable solution to fix what ails him.
What do you mean?
Okay. What I'm saying is, Bob, I think that tampering is always going to go on.
What can limit the tampering is like a one-time transfer, because then there's less times to tamper.
But do you think that a one-time transfer will get will end up ever happening and be enforceable?
Yeah.
You do? You think it'll be a one-time thing?
People will eventually get to that point. But it's going to be a painful process for the realization of how it's got to happen on the university side, but right. I think it'll get there.
But then how do you do it then with because right now, like, you can transfer. I know it's unlimited transfer. There was a time, though, when it was like you could transfer if your coach left. If your coach got fired, new head coach comes in. So you are saying it should be one time, regardless of what happens with the coaching staff.
Trying to think if you want to build in any exceptions to that, whereas if coaching staff leaves or I don't know. But the 5 years to play 5 and a one-time transfer without penalty, I think is...
That'd be ideal.
I think that's... You can get there. You can get to anything. If you want to collectively bargain it, and that's how it's probably going to have to happen. They'll meander around some of this executive order and congressional nonsense. They'll probably have some issues with it in court. Eventually, they'll find their way home because it's the only solution.
But that's the thing when you look at the coach thing, though. Like if I... going back, Bob, and this is an extreme, but when teams like Houston had like their run and shoot offense, and I'm a quarterback that goes to I'm a quarterback at SMU. I go to Houston after I'm going to transfer. I want to play in that run and shoot. Like that right there is suited perfectly for my game. It's a reach here now. I know you got to walk down the path with me, though, Bob. But I'm telling you, like the run and shoot, man. I'm telling you, I was built for that. My arm's built for that. That's what I want to do. And then Houston fires that run and shoot coach and hires in Woody Hayes for 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You're saying that in that case, the quarterback would be stuck.
My dad always said you commit to the school.
Do you think you commit to the school or coach? I know.
Coach matters.
I guess what I'm saying is
coaches can change.
Yes, and I understand your dad's concept of that. Yeah, you commit to the school. It's what you're doing. But I would anymore now, though, it feels like you're committing to a coach.
So you get one time to transfer.
Even though, like, let's say the coach then gets the death penalty. The school gets the death penalty.
Then
like
you
that.
transfer.
I'm saying you get one time, though. If I transfer to a school and then all of a sudden.
Make sure, listen, you're only there 4 or 5 years.
Or 7, but yeah.
No, that's the 5 to play 5.
I know, Bob.
And so you make sure, like, if you're just unhappy after your first year,
yeah,
you choose to play your trump card, then you got to. Card laid is a card played, big dog. Like, that's just what it is.
It also could push people to actually get the degree, right?
Get the degree. Maybe just because I'm a little bit unhappy right now, maybe I should stick this thing out to the spring and see what happens.
Yeah, that and The one-time transfers, obviously, undergrads, right? Once you have your degree,
you should be able to go
anywhere. If you graduate in 3 years, and you still have 2 more years to play, and you want to bounce around 2 more times, I think everybody's kind of fine with that.
I'm fine with that because you've done what you've needed to do.
Yeah.
Like what Joe Burrow did, you went and you earned your degree in college, which is what the primary objective was always supposed to be. And so you could get a second freebie. That's going to require you to actually work while you're in school.
To graduate, yeah. All right, coming up next, there might not be any award-winning sound with it, but we will do some quick hitters next. Morning Juice.
I'm Meredith Garfalo, meteorologist at 10 TV News This Morning, and I'm an Ohio girl. I love golf, aerospace, and all things Ohio sports. For nearly 20 years, I've studied the patterns that shape our days, from winter wonders on the south side to dangerous storms along the I-71 corridor. When the weather changes, you'll be the first to know, because you need a forecast that moves as fast as you do. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad, and I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Your child is sick. With those 4 words, the innocence and joy of childhood disappears. But Starlight has taught us 4 other words that make all the difference. The power of play. Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation delivers happiness through gaming, toy deliveries, and more to hospitals across the country. Learn more at starlight.org.
If you're looking for the inside scoop on the Buckeyes, you've come to the right place. This is Morning Juice.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town? The opportunity to work alongside them as partners, whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and are going to help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them at 6300 France Road, Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, Bode, hit it. Just get after it. I don't know.
I clicked it.
Quick hitters.
The thing is, it's funny, too. The countdown is going on. Like, it's playing on
I saw
Zeta,
mine, too. Yeah,
but, but no
sound, yeah.
All right, fellas. Happy Friday. We'll start here. 2019 Clemson and 2022 Georgia. Those are the 2 games that still eat at Ryan Day to this day. On the Not Just Football show with Cameron Hayward, the Buckeye head coach was asked if he could have 1 game back. He cheated a little bit and gave 2 answers. But here is Ryan Day on that question.
The 19 Clemson game. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that one in the Peach Bowl,
Yeah, that one, then that one, and then obviously the Peach Bowl against Georgia. Those two games to this day. You remember the losses. You know what I mean? The wins kind of just come and go in their relief, but those losses haunt you. And because I felt like both of those teams were good teams, and if we were able to move on to the next game, we would have been playing LSU in Joe Burrow, which would have been just a monster game, which would have been great. And then the other year we've been playing TCU.
Notice how he didn't say anything about being a monster game against TCU.
No.
Probably safe to say the Peach Bowl against Georgia hurts a little bit more because I don't know if anybody was beating LSU that year, but Ohio State would have rolled the whole Frogs.
It would have looked
22.
a lot like that Georgia game against TCU. I think there was an anticipation. I think Ohio State was maybe the one team with how good their defensive backs are and their pass rush to be able to challenge Joe. Do you beat them? I don't know. In a huge game, like he said. That TCU game, though, that's probably his second national championship. It would be hanging right now.
Yeah.
And that's what hurts because it was right there. And if you could make a 50-yard field goal or even at least kick it so it looked like it was maybe going to go in, that would have helped.
Wide left.
If Marvin wouldn't have gotten knocked out of the game. I mean, there was –
it wasn't even just the field goal, right? It was a 2-score lead. They were playing so well. They got down into field goal range so quickly when Stroud ripped off that huge run, but then they maybe got a little conservative when they end up kind of, I'll say, settling for the field goal. Not the kicking a field goal was about, you didn't have to go for the end zone there, but they probably maybe should have been a bit more aggressive to get a closer chip shot, Tito.
Yeah, that should have been targeting, by the way, in the end zone there. On that one. That's the one that I guess that's the part that bothers me is that it's. And I know we've got like ABS going on right now with Major League Baseball and that and the challenge systems and all these different things. But like that was just it seemed to me at the time, Bob, so damn much common sense. Like that's obviously what it was.
And they called targeting on the field, didn't they, if I remember correctly? And they flipped it.
They did.
I thought they called it on the field. Excuse me, and then took it away, which is.
But then he had to leave the game.
Which it was a double. Like you couldn't have both happen. If he stayed in the game, maybe you still win even without the call. If you get the call, though, and Marv leaves, maybe you still win.
Maybe a score right there.
Once they had to settle for a field goal there, that was tough. Any other games kind of pop out? Those two were in the semifinals, so it was so massive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. Like, the only other game that I could think of off the top of my head was 24 Michigan, but I know it makes a lot of people mad to say this, but it didn't really matter in the end. Like, I know you still wanted to beat them.
I think the 23 Michigan game probably stung too.
Yeah.
Just because you're driving at the end of the game, you couldn't get a stop quickly enough. You hold them to a field goal, and if you can stop them quicker, you have more time. You stop them home to a punt, then you're in a really good situation. But I think that's the one where Kyle McCord throws the interception at the end, and you feel like you'd played well enough up there to probably win it. I would say that's
probably go to the 4-team playoff if you win that game because they would have played Purdue maybe in the Big Ten championship game.
You're getting through. And Michigan lost to.
Oh no, they won it all that year.
Oh, in 23, Michigan won it all. They beat Bama. Yeah, that's right.
They beat Bama, beat Washington.
Yeah. And you feel like maybe a similar path could have potentially happened for that team. So that might be the only other one that I look at. Like losing to Bama in 20, you're like, okay.
Oh, yeah, that game wasn't
Bama,
really
that was
close.
a really good Bama team.
I feel like I should know the answer to this, Bob, after working with you as much as I have. But what was yours? College, NFL, either one.
I can think of a couple.
Yeah, there's a couple in the NFL. Bodie and I relived those yesterday.
Did you drink while you were doing
it? On the birthday of Patrick Creighton. Was that 2 days ago?
2 days ago, I think it was, yeah.
I would maybe 03 Michigan.
Okay.
We went up there and didn't play well. We started so slow. I think we got it to 28-21 at one point. They scored again. Craig got knocked out of the game. Like, we win that game, we're going to the national championship again.
Right.
And maybe playing Oklahoma, which I think we could have beat.
What year? 03?
03. That was when it was LSU and Oklahoma. And I think we would have went over Oklahoma. How we won that game.
The Wisconsin game, 03?
The Wisconsin game was 03.
Yeah, that one. Does that one?
Because if we lose that game, if we beat Michigan, we still go to the national championship. Like, it wasn't a big deal. Not that it wasn't a big deal, but if we won that game, we still would have went to the national championship as per, like, the BCS prediction. So That was that one, and probably the other two my senior year, 05, Texas and then Penn State. Because both of those games defensively played well enough to win. Texas, we had a 6-point lead kicking a field goal. A 45-yard field goal with 6 minutes left that we miss. Had a chance to get another touchdown in there that we didn't. Jacked up a coverage that led to the go-ahead touchdown at the end of the game. And then Penn State, Schleggs always points out, we held Penn State, I think, to like 140 yards and lost the game. And so that was tough.
That's hard to do.
It's very hard to do.
I think that as we're talking through this, Bob, I think that most of, and I know you're surprised to hear this, most of ones I would think are bad losses or tough losses are ones that I had that I went to. Like, the Wisconsin game.
Yeah, because when you go there and you lose, it stinks. Traveling to a game, an away game, to have it lose is brutal.
Yeah, Madison with the rain and all that. Hey, it would have been a great win in that rain and cold and all that stuff. Would have been a great win. And instead, it's a miserable loss. And then, the Texas game also, when I was there in that one for watching that one from the stands as well. That one makes it harder for me too. Maybe not the impact it had on you and the team, but just the fact that my own
more significant action.
Yes, more WIIFM. What was in it for me? What's in it for me? What else you got for us, buddy?
All right, next up, guys, here some college basketball, some Buckeye basketball scheduling news here. The Field of 68's Rocco Miller. They're going to have to change the name of that podcast here soon, I think. Reported on Thursday that Jake Diebler and Ohio State will open it up next season in Salt Lake City with a date against the BYU Cougars. That game will be played at the Delta Center, which is the home of the Utah Jazz. It'll be just the second ever meeting between the two programs. Brigham Young, they beat the Buckeyes 72-65 back on December 30th of 1997. BYU, they've been a 6th seed in each of the past 3 NCAA tournaments. They're bringing in another potential top 5 pick and 5-star phenom freshman forward Bruce Branch III. And Tito, this should be a pretty fun season opener here for Ohio State if you're 6 months and change away from counting that down.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm glad they're playing these kinds of games, and it's. Of course, I say that, Bob, until if they get blown out, then it's like, oh, why the hell they play this game?
Wish they play that game at home.
They could have played Kennesaw State or something like that. But yes, you're right. It's not a home and home then, Bo.
It's a home and home / neutral. There is expected to be a return date to Ohio, but given that the game's played at the Jazz, maybe you play that. I don't know, in Cleveland, I guess. Which I just don't
play at Nationwide Arena.
Sure, why not? I don't know.
A true neutral site game.
I know they have an NBA team there, and Columbus doesn't. But it's like, it's not.
You think
like,
you're filling that up?
Yeah. Oh, it's like I understand when Ohio State plays maybe like West Virginia and Cleveland,
right,
for a one-off and not a home and home. But Brigham Young, it's like just play there. And then play at the Shot. The Shot. I was going to say St. John, but you could play there too.
St. John would be great too. Don't play the convention center.
I don't understand why you wouldn't do a true home and home, but yeah, there is expected to be a return date on that one.
And BYU, great season for them this year. And the fact they've gotten back-to-back years now, they've got these top 5 recruits coming in, Bob. It's that's the beauty of the NIL world we live in, is that BYU's putting like probably 70% of their money into one guy. And
how do you know that?
I don't know. I said they probably are. I would assume that
because I think they spend a decent amount on their players.
Well, do you think that do you think their basketball roster spend is over $12 million?
I'd say it's probably there, maybe a little higher.
And I believe there was I thought it was a Debanza got like $7 or $8 million for this past season.
Sure.
Which would be the majority of it. That's all I'm saying is they're putting a lot of the money into one guy and then filling out the roster around him, but we talked more about BYU basketball this year than we probably have in the last 5 years before that combined because of the fact they made that financial commitment to a player who is going to be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft, probably top 2 pick actually in the NBA draft. I think depending on how the ping pong balls fall, that I think that he will end up being one of the top 2 picks.
And last one here, guys. Good news. Somebody on Reddit has solved tanking in the NBA.
Oh, good.
Really? Let's hear this solution.
It's a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's pretty clever.
Okay.
Dynamic beer pricing. All arena beers are going to start the season at $10 league-wide. No matter where you go to an NBA arena, beer's $10. Every win, it goes up 35 cents. Every loss, though, it must drop 20 cents. So, for example, right now, if you went to an Oklahoma City Thunder game, it would be $22.70. If you went to watch your Washington Wizards, who are 17-61 on the season, they would owe you 10 cents to buy a beer.
There you go.
I'll take 3.
So you'd get 30 cents plus 3 beers. I mean, Bob, that's the most important people to solve tanking is the owners of these teams because they can force their teams to try to go win. I mean, that's one way to do it, right?
I would say. I mean, listen, you hit them in the pocketbook, and that definitely would be that. So I enjoy that. That's a pretty nice little.
Listen, it's a pretty clever thought. I'll give that person that. Reddit can, the internet can be the best and worst of us, but that might be the best.
I like it. I mean, we're going to go down. I don't know. You want to go down to B-Dubs? Beer's like $3. What at the Wizards game? Minus 10 cents? Let's go. Let's do that.
Look, now, you might have another Malice in the Palace situation in the nation's capital with people getting enough liquid courage in them, but
I love that idea.
I think you go to the Washington Wizards owner and say, hey, this is how much you're going to owe fans over the next 82 games.
Right.
Because they started losing pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Hell, they traded for Anthony Davis, Trae Young, and they still said, we're good. We'll just sit them. But, it's one way to fix it.
I think Draymond Green's idea was, this might be a direct quote, find the hell out of them. Like, find the owners, find the teams if they're tanking.
You would just have to do so much.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, there would have been teams who, how much would a team have paid for Victor Wembanyama?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that, but it's a significant sum because it's still going to pay off for the next 15 years.
Right.
That, I don't even know. I don't think it's a bad idea by Draymond. I get where he's coming from on it, but I don't know that finding teams would even work because you still, and same thing, not that teams tank in the NFL, but how much would the Colts have still paid to get Andrew Luck?
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't know, but it would have been a lot of money.
Yeah. This is so weird to have the music in the bed.
I know.
I feel like we're just hanging out. Coming up next, how close to Big Ten school to becoming even eliter? We will do that next. Morning Juice.
I'm Tracy Townsend, anchor at 10 TV News This Morning. This community is my home, and it means everything to me. I care deeply about the stories we bring you each day, especially the ones that truly impact your life, from women's health and advocacy to the decisions happening at the State House. My goal is simple: help you feel informed and connected, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at V.org.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice. Bob, I just thought of something for the meeting on Monday. When we get asked, what can we do to make our jobs easier? What can we do to make our jobs better? I think I've got an idea on one.
What's that?
Well, it's got to do with the door. I think we need a soundproof door.
There you go.
Look, one of two things happened, Bob, earlier today. Either they installed a laugh track in the hallway, or the door's just not that soundproof.
Okay.
One or the other. Anyway, Bob, I was reading this on The Athletic. We are now in that time of the season, Bob, time of the year when with football and basketball, well, football will kick back up again soon, but football essentially being over for right now, and college basketball being over as well. And I read this article about, it was a story, somebody asked a question about how, I think it was of Stuart Mandel, and I didn't realize this, that Dusty May wanted the head coaching job at Indiana in basketball there.
Sure. It's iconic.
He was a student manager for Bob Knight. I did not know that little nugget. Were you aware of that or not?
I saw the scarring on his neck.
Okay, that's what it was, yeah.
Bob had grabbed him a couple times.
But we had that, okay. But you still wanted Bob Knight to coach Ohio State?
Of course.
Okay.
I'd go play for him.
But allegedly, according to this, Dusty May wanted the IU job, and they said, but the thought was, what if you had Curt Cignetti and Dusty May both at Indiana? And
you're the center of the sports universe.
But as I read that, though, Bob, then I don't know.
Then you started thinking. That's when it got dangerous.
Bob, I don't know how it would affect. Because, look, Dusty May, with all the success he's had at Michigan, he certainly has a certain idea of how much money he wants to spend on a roster. And rightfully so. But would that be impacted at all then? Would it be, you figure, well...
I don't think that Curt Cignetti spent all that much money on their football roster, especially not the first year.
Sure, right. I agree with that. No, he might not, at that point, no. But with the
so
money
you're
now,
asking, with him being there, would that have impacted Cignetti's ability to succeed? I don't think so.
Would that impact Cignetti being there long term? Just because I'm saying, like, if you had Dusty May, if you have that kind of success, and you put him there also...
I don't think so.
May needs a lot of money. May deserves a lot of money.
I'm going to tell you this. Indiana has a lot of money.
May deserves or would rightfully want a lot of money, as Cignetti has now. I don't know what Cignetti is. He third highest paid coach somewhere. He's top 5, right?
Sure.
Okay. That's a lot of money to throw around. They compared it to Florida when in 2008, or in the 2000s, I'm sorry. When they had Urban Meyer and Billy Donovan at the same time.
I don't think Billy Donovan left because he wasn't going to get paid.
I don't think so either. No, but it's like they were talking about if you have the combination of successful coaches, though. Bob Stoops and Kelvin Sampson at Oklahoma, Saban and Izzo at Michigan State. Those are some ones they threw out there, and then they went back even further.
About Mata and Tressel.
There's one too. Yes, and then also they brought up Fred Taylor and Woody Hayes at the same time, way back when. But do you think, Bob, we will get to a point again where you'll see something like that?
You got to make sure the guys you got are winning. So, could Jake Diebler be that? That's the question. I don't know. I'd like to hope so.
Yeah.
I think there's possibility for it, but I don't think those things are mutually exclusive. You just have to, once you win, people are far more apt to be a part of it.
Right.
And that's what Cignetti did. He took a place that they'd never won and won bigly, if you will. And in doing that, funds started pouring in. And you get the cubes out there. He's walking around after the national championship game.
Yeah.
So those guys have big pocketbooks. They can write big checks.
How does that? Okay, so yeah, you're right, Cuban. I know Indiana's got money. There's other schools that have guys with alumni with a lot of money too.
Yeah.
And what is it that, Indiana, it's certainly a perfect storm for them as far as bringing in Cignetti, who is not certainly not like, it wasn't like it was Saban coming from Miami or from LSU or whatever. Cignetti was not on that level. and then the mushroom cloud happens to where all the things they do there. I'm not sure why I use a mushroom cloud nuclear war reference on that. That was
maybe
probably
a mushroom stamp. I mean,
mushrooms. Okay, but Bob, so it's Indiana's now a football school. Fair to say.
Yeah, they won a national championship.
Right, but is there?
I'd say it's much harder for a non-perceived football school to win a football national championship than it is for a non-perceived basketball school to win a basketball national championship. Because in basketball, you need like 2 or 3 good players, and you can go win it.
Right.
In 1 year football, I mean, you got to build a program and get it done. Like Signe didn't win in his first year, and he had to bring in a bunch of guys.
Right.
Like you had to have a whole squad.
It was almost a Dion thing. As far as the number of transfers you're bringing in and guys you're kicking out. Although Dion's a little different because he did more kicking out than
Signetti. Yeah, Signetti he wasn't getting rid of good players. They didn't have enough good players to bring in. Nobody wanted to go to Indiana.
5 Ohio State players going to be at the draft coming up on April 23rd.
It's the most of any school, I believe.
I believe you're right on that one. Because no Mendoza's not going to be there, but there's 5 Buckeyes. And all 5, at least 4 of them will go in the first round, and probably the top 12 or 13 at the latest, I would think, for the last one being picked, and then the other one being Caden McDonald. I've seen everywhere on the drafts, Bob, mock drafts, which I know you love and you stay up on, so I'm not telling you something you don't already know.
The mocks.
Yes. But I've seen McDonald going, anywhere from like 24 to early to mid-second round.
Yeah, he's a 20 to 40 guy, I would say, on the board. Probably its peak is 20, 40 to 45, somewhere in there. It's a very light defensive tackle draft, so I think if you're trying to look for other positions and those get snatched up and you have one that defensive tackle's a place of need and you're in the back end of that first round, I could see somebody easily grabbing him.
A couple of players from Alabama going to be there as well. Caden Proctor and also Ty Simpson. Caden Proctor, I've seen him all over the board too as well, Bob, where I've seen him going, as late teens to end of the first round.
Well, there was a presumption that he was going to be a first-round pick.
Right.
2 years ago.
Right.
And I just think he hasn't played all that well, but it's a very light tackle draft too. Like this is one of the few ones where you look at it and there aren't a lot of defensive tackles and there aren't a lot of offensive tackles.
Right.
Ton of edges, handful of receivers, not a ton of corners super high. But usually, and there's very few quarterbacks, but there are a ton of edges. And so it's like trying to figure out where you can get certain guys, and that's where the value comes in of what you're trying to get.
From what you saw from Ty Simpson this year.
I think Ty Simpson is incredibly talented. There's a lot of really good. There's some pretty bad in there. His team didn't necessarily help him out the most. But more than that, I'm concerned about the fact that he's only started like 15 games. That is what the big concern is to me with him, because we have enough sample size now that knowing the more you've played in college, the better chances you have of success, and especially success early in the NFL.
Because, in recent years, we've had, the Trey Lance. You had Mitch Trubisky, right? That's another one. Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Maserati Mitch.
Yes. Now,
Anthony Richardson, he's the real gem. How much did Sam Darnold play at UCLA? Did he just start for a year?
At USC?
Or USC, I mean?
I think he was just a year, yeah.
He might have been, yeah.
So he's just a year.
Well, no, he was in the 18 draft. He became the starter in 16 about a month in. Played the rest of that year, so 3/4 a year,
So
I guess,
like,
if you will, and then
okay.
played all of 17.
Okay, so he like a year and a half.
Almost 2 years.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
year and a half to 2 years.
He probably got 20 starts under his belt, but even he struggled early on.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
On a few different teams, even.
But that doesn't mean the player isn't good.
Yeah.
It just means that they may not be ready to go right away. And that's a big deal.
He played 27 games for USC. Not sure the number of starts, but played in 27 games, though, for USC.
Well, that's tough because he may be getting in a handful of those when, fourth quarter when you're up by 4 touchdowns.
And the Cam Newton thing, Cam was good right away.
Cam was an anomaly because he, athletically, he was something that nobody had ever been. And by the way, Cam played a lot of football.
Just not at
Auburn. And he drug an Auburn team that had like 2 other draftable players to a national championship. That's the other thing that I'll put in the bucket of, if your team wasn't very good, and you made them really good. Like you could say Joe Burrow, he only started 2 years. His first year, but like when he was great, but he had great players around him. But he did play a couple of years. Whereas like Cam Newton, dude, they literally had like 3 guys drafted off of that team.
Your amigo had 27 games also at USC.
You said
Mark?
Mark
Yes.
is happy to be alive.
Right.
You said Darnold had 27?
Yeah, Darnold 27 games.
His first 3 games in 16,
right.
He only had 8, 7, and 7 passing attempts.
So those don't count.
Fourth game, 26.
There you go.
So that's when he became the starter there, his 4th game in. So you could shave off 3 of those games. But
it's funny.
And what's the Parcells number? 20?
Parcells?
He like 2-year starters.
2
so
years,
back then
okay.
it was like 20 starts.
Okay.
22
Now
starts.
it's,
Now, I mean, it's probably, like if you've got 24 starts under your belt, you feel pretty good. Number one, you have a better sample size to evaluate.
Yeah.
And then number 2, you've gotten more reps. And so those things work hand in hand.
I feel like, Bob, some of that stuff is, those selections are made of guys. Like when the Colts took Anthony Richardson, it feels like ego to me that somebody said, yeah, I know he didn't start much, but I'm telling you, I see this guy. He's going to, even though he hasn't proven it yet. He had just those a couple of starts, a season starting at Florida, but then wasn't he the one who didn't start in high school till like as a senior and things like that?
Maybe.
But I feel like a lot of those decisions are made by front offices based on like, oh, you know what? I see something no one else sees in this guy. And more often than not,
it's
doesn't
not
work.
that. It's I can refine that guy more than anyone else. It's not that I see something. Like everybody saw his ability. You watch the film, the dude had a hose, he could run, extremely athletic. But then you watch a lot of his inconsistencies and you're like, I can coach that out of him.
Right.
That's what you tell yourself. I can coach that out of him. People, the hubris with coaches of like, well, nobody else has been able to. That's why they want a larger sample size and say, well, he still makes these mistakes. Yeah, but he hasn't had me as a coach yet.
Right. That's ego there.
Have you guys ever watched Arrested Development?
Is that the Bateman movie, the show?
Yeah. There's a scene where it's a comedy sitcom. A couple
Bateman,
of the characters.
hard to believe that.
Yeah, I know. There's a couple of characters in there who talk about having an open marriage, and the one guy's like, "Yeah, I know a bunch of friends who they've done it." And his wife, she's like, "Does it ever work for them?" He's like, "Oh no, hell no." But he's like, "But it might work for us."
Right. Yeah. Starting now, it might work. Bob, is there another position that's close to that as far as that you need to have a large sample size of starts?
Not like that. I mean, you have linebackers play a year, offensive tackles that play a year. Quarterback, there's so much processing. It's such a unique position that's one of the few. I think the only one, and probably all of sports, where you need a bigger sample size to evaluate. Because people are always like, is it the team that's really good around you? Mm-hmm. Like Amigo?
Right.
Or is it you? Do you make everybody better? Or is it a flash in the pan and people just haven't figured you out yet? And then also when you level up and there's more complexity on the defensive side, are you able to handle that and still digest it?
In some positions, too, you'd rather have less reps, right?
I mean, the most
important running back, yeah.
Right? I mean, it's like you don't want a guy coming in having 4 years of, monster carries coming in.
Yeah.
And doing that, I wouldn't think. I mean, that's one of the things that I think benefited Zeke, that he was, granted, he has workhorse there for a while, but he didn't have like the mileage some of these other running backs. Right. Yeah. That's about the most I think I'd want to have on the running back is 2 years of like, elite usage, I guess is the way I'd put it. But I'm just trying to get on the defensive side of the ball then too, when you get guys that have one incredible year and then have this like fantastic combine. And how do you look at them differently than the quarterback position?
I just think that there's less bustability, if you will.
Bustability?
Yeah.
There's
some professions where that's good. I don't know if in sports you want bustability. Other entertainment silos, possibly.
I believe I dated a bustability for a while in between administrations. I'm not mistaken there, Bob. But yeah, it does. You're right. It doesn't matter. Wide receiver, offensive lineman, maybe.
The offensive lineman, I think, is the least.
You think it's the least?
Yeah, I think that's the easiest position to evaluate and draft.
And so the experience, you think offensive lineman means the least, or experience means the least when it comes to offensive linemen?
I just think they're the easiest to evaluate. And so it's not, once guys can do certain things, and like, especially if they've got going against pretty good competition, you can usually figure that out and see. Some of it's going to be scheme fit with those guys. So there is that element to it. But I think offensive lineman's one of the easiest. There is some stuff with maybe defensive linemen, I think, especially edges, or if guys had like one good year and this guy's a super great athlete, you're like, well, why didn't you have more? You know? Like receiver, okay, well, they weren't throwing me the ball or whatever, but if you're an edge, like, dude, they just put you out there, go get a sack. You know, if you're that good, well, the coach wasn't playing me. Well, why? Are you too stupid? Didn't know what was going on? Or, like, I mean, that's real. Like, you couldn't learn the scheme. Or, like, were you just lazy? You just didn't play hard. They couldn't trust you on the field or whatever. You know, maybe you don't care that much about it. And then you knew, like, hey, it's contract year. It's time to go. So you just didn't practice hard, work hard, whatever it was. I mean, I look at, like, Vernon Golston like that for Ohio State. You know, Vernon had one great year, combine, Superman.
Right.
Vernon didn't really love football that much.
See, it's funny you said about, I actually just now Googled to look at his stats. I was curious how many games he played at Ohio State.
He started 1 year.
Yeah, he ended up starting 1 year. He played 31 games at Ohio State. But I remember that too. Yes, he comes in as like this guy who had one good year and then wowed him at the combine and was a bust.
Because he didn't care. Like, he didn't really love football.
Right. And you, like, that was easy to, how is it the
But then I will say, though, on the flip side of that, though, you could have a guy like Arvell Reese, right, who just, sat behind good players.
Good players.
And there's nothing. And then Patricia's scheme was just, I don't think Knowles' scheme was, you know, it didn't.
I think kind of how they used him.
Hold back Ohio State, certainly.
No, but how they used him specifically. Yeah. And Arvell did play some as well, I guess that would have been his second year when he moved over. So
but like this, it was, I mean.
But he also didn't come in as a highly recruited guy. Like, you can watch, like, well, why didn't you play? Well, I was 210 pounds when I got to Ohio State.
I flat out needed a year, period, end, just to become a college football player.
Yeah, it's like they look at that like, okay, well, here's what he was day one. Here's what he was like after 3 years. Okay, well, that makes sense why he didn't play.
Yeah.
But when I looked at it, Bob, when I first heard about, Arvell's draft stock, and how great he looked at the combine. That was what I thought of Golston, and not because I think I'm not saying that Reese is like Golston.
It's amazing that's what you thought of.
No, but like the first thing, I'm not saying, Bob. I'm not saying he's going to be Golston. I'm just saying, but I think about a guy though who had a.
I haven't thought about Vernon Golston in a long time, and then his name came up in conversation at the Woody Hayes, and that's why he was like top of mind with this.
But I'm not. Again, I expect Reese to be a fantastic NFL player. Yeah. I anticipate all of that. I'm not saying it's going to have a Golston type. He's not going to have a Golston type career.
Let's hope not.
But I'm just saying whenever I hear anybody from Ohio State, whenever I hear anybody who wows at the combine and isn't like a 3-year starter, that's what comes to mind. Something like Golston, or who was the other guy who went. Alonzo Spellman, somebody else I thought about too.
Well, Alonzo Spellman had a different set of.
He did have a different set of vision, but those are the kind of guys that would pop into my mind, though. Bob, as a longtime Ohio State fan, and I'm not.
His wasn't really motivation. His was more the fact I think he's bipolar. So.
Yes, he certainly had his.
Probably doesn't help.
Right?
It does when he's on the Hulk side of the bipolar.
That's true.
Right. The good. Yeah.
What about Bruce Banner?
Yeah. The good bipolar, not the bad bipolar, Bodie. The good one though. When you're on the field like that, yes. If you could somehow channel that, yes, that right there, then that's the guy you want. That would improve your draft stock if you're the good bipolar. But Spellman though, yes, much like Golston, not much of a of NFL career. Spellman, the one who had the instant on the plane, then too, Bob. Is that what I'm thinking of? He went loco on the plane or something.
Possibly. None of that would be.
You can't just. You're not gonna say
There's
no.
There's a story that he took a dump in a dude's helmet in Dallas. That halftime.
Well, that's
a story.
That's practical jokes. Is all that is there, Pop. That's not crazy. That's just that's called initiation, isn't it?
The thing is, no one wanted to do anything about it because
got a little.
He was such a
Charles Haley situation kind of going on there.
Just an unbelievable specimen of a man.
Coming up next, because it's an Ask AJ Friday, we will tell you what's got us juice next. Morning Juice.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
I'm Brianna Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
How's Tommy doing now?
Much better.
You said it was asthma?
Yeah, he started with this cough and then he was wheezing.
That's terrifying.
Doctor said hidden triggers can make it worse. Things like dust, mold, and even pests.
Pests?
Yeah, droppings and allergens from cockroaches and rodents can seriously impact children with asthma or allergies.
I had no idea.
We're making sure our home stays pest-free.
Don't let pests put your family's health at risk. Visit pestworld.org to learn more. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Good morning, Juice. Because we can't fire the music, I'll just tell you that what's got you juice sponsored by Newman Roofing. Bob, I got an interesting question in the chat just now.
Yeah.
It was from Spieth Skis.
Sure.
Tito, did you date any Heathers between your two wives?
It's a great question.
I don't think I did. I think I just marry Heathers. I don't date them. I don't remember, Bob.
Spieth Skis also hates flying more than anything.
Well, that's because Emily was talking about she's flying down there down to Charlotte is where she's at now to see her.
Camp Wilmington, Camp Lejeune.
Yes, that's where she is headed, or she's down there right now. She doesn't like flying either. That's where it came up. And as somebody also said in the chat, if you got to take a dump, you got to go. So
let me ask you this: people that don't like flying, is that because of just the uncomfortability of like being in a seat? Is like the claustrophobic of being in a giant cylinder tube, or is there a like legitimate fear of dying while you're on the plane?
Good question, Bob. I don't know. I don't
for everybody. I don't know.
It's probably different. I mean, there truly is a fear of flying.
Maybe just a natural motion sickness too. Maybe I don't know.
Motion sickness.
I will tell you this.
I know every time when we were growing up, anytime we went on a road trip in a car somewhere, it was the sun rising in the east that my sister would get sick. It was just gonna happen. I've never had that. Just built different, but
exactly.
I just thought about this. As a kid, we used to drive to Van Wert
Yeah.
There was a spot where there was this red barn. And every time we passed it, I got sick. I would throw up.
That's like Pavlov's dog sort of deal.
It happened every time.
Something about
I
that
don't know why.
barn.
It's pretty flat up there.
You know what it was? I'll tell you. I think now, Bob, let's go ahead and peel back another page on this one. Peel back a little layer here. There was a time when we were driving to Van Wert around the holidays. And
like Madonna's holidays?
Yes.
Celebrate.
I fell asleep on the floor. You know, you had like the hump in the middle and then the floor. So it was not wasn't a comfortable spot. And granted, parents were smoking with no seatbelts on, whatever. We were moving around.
What do you think the sickness came from?
Okay.
Smoking or?
We took our dog with us. This is not the dog joke that I told you before, but it is Gigi, that same dog, the French poodle. And at about the 1 hour mark, around the time of the red barn, Gigi threw up on my head.
That's gross.
Well, Bob,
I would have thrown that dog out of the window.
Bob, that's not the worst part. It didn't wake me up.
I think that maybe says a lot about you.
Do you think the parents stopped?
No, there's zero chance of that happening. Not in the 80s.
We show up. This is 70s.
70s, even better.
We show up in Van Wert. I've got dry dog throw up in my hair. That's how I woke up.
How did you not wake up?
Heavy sleeper, Bob. This is pre-sleep apnea. I was a heavy sleeper.
Well, maybe not pre.
You're
pre
right.
Before you knew it, but maybe it was still.
But yeah, so that's and that's why maybe that explains a lot about my relationship with my parents.
Well, they didn't wake you up? My parents wouldn't have stopped.
They wouldn't have woken you up.
Woken you up's one thing. Stopping, maybe they thought it's not worth waking you up because we're not going to stop anyway.
What's going to happen? Right, we got to go. We got to make time. As my dad wants to make sure he goes 57 and not 55 because he won't ever go faster than that. All right, boy, I tell you, this has brought up some memories for you now, Bob. I'm not juiced now. What has you juiced today on this Friday, Bob?
Well, we got practice today at Ohio State. I believe this is practice 11. Next week is 12, 13, 14, 15 being the spring game. So they've got that going for them. Kind of the last big push here over the next day, a couple days to get that done. So excited for that. Semester's winding down. That's got me juiced. We have a Saturday free of sport. That's got me juiced. Yesterday I started tearing down our shed. We have this old steel shed that came with the house. It was in the back. Schlegs has got a new shed that he doesn't want. I say new. It's newish. It looks good. Great shape.
New to you.
New to me. Well, yesterday I found out, I was like, all right, we're going to move it Saturday. I was like, okay, well, I got to get rid of my shed then because it's going to go on the same spot, the poured pad. So I had to tear that down yesterday, and that kind of came out of nowhere, but it was good. My oldest son and I got out some tools, a couple sledgehammers. It's fun, mashing that thing apart, pulling everything off. Learned a little bit, took my Jeep, hooked the winch up to it, pulled it down. Some of the things are anchored in there pretty good. They've got some screws are all rusted. You can't get it apart. So I went and had to go buy a diamond blade to be able to cut the steel today with my circular saw. So I'm going to have to make a couple cuts, but feeling pretty good about that. My dad's coming up to go to practice today, so pretty excited to see him and have him watch a little practice. And then hopefully I'm going to pawn off some of that sheet metal in the back of his truck to get out of my yard. So I didn't really think about that. Hey, Dad, why don't you stop by? Well, I'll just burn it in the field. I'm like, why don't you stop by and check out the house? You know, go say hi to Court. Oh, by the way, why don't
kids really want to see it?
Why don't you? Well, kids are in school. Why don't you want to just back up into the backyard here, and I'll just slide some of the sheet metal into the back of your truck, and we'll be good to go.
There you go.
So I got that going for me.
Did you shirt off?
Oh yeah, shirt off for sure.
Right. Oh, it was nice. It was so
beautiful.
nice outside yesterday.
Played some music.
Yeah,
bashing that stuff, carrying it around. I always keep a pair of work gloves.
Shawshank.
Yeah, I always keep a pair of work gloves in my truck, and so my son drives my older truck, and so I was like, hey, you're going to want to wear these too. We're moving with sheet metal. It's old. It's rusted a little bit. And I'm like, you're going to want to, there's a set of gloves in the left driver's side door. So, all right, goes and gets them. I went to my truck, got my set of gloves out, comes back with one glove. And what do you mean?
OJ.
So there's only one. And I started looking in the back seat. There was a lot of clothes, some trash. I was like, you're telling me you got all this trash and crap. There's only one glove in there. I go, do you think when I gave you that truck it only had one glove in there? Or do you think the glove fell out and you probably didn't notice? So I gave him, as being a dad, the 2 gloves. I
would have taken the one.
I was Michael Jackson with the 1 glove, walking around, trying to protect my right hand from just getting gashed and cut up. But it was good. We did a lot of work done with it. Got it pulled over. I just got to cut some of it up and get the angle iron out of there, and all that stuff today. But it was good working with him. I had a good time doing that. It's always fun. He's old enough now to be able to handle a lot of that stuff. And they start sneezing, coughing. I mean, it's old, man. I think probably been there 25 years. It's pretty rusted in there. There's a lot of mouse crap all through it and just everything else.
I hope it's mouse crap. My wife's got...
What was the other hope? What else could it be?
Hopefully not a larger animal. Or
there was probably some raccoon stuff. There was a little hole in it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It was time for it to come down. So that had me juiced, getting that down, most of it, and I think I can get that finished up in about an hour today and then start the weekend partying.
There you go.
I'm pretty excited about that. What's Schleg's got to say, buddy?
You're a better football player than I am, Bob.
How about basketball, Schleg's?
That's 100% I'm beating you at basketball.
Oh, gosh. Come on. You wrestled in high school.
Gosh. All right. You're really thinking you could beat me in basketball?
Schleg's, that's not even a question.
Oh, my God.
Confidence is half the battle.
The difference in me in football and Schleg's is less than the difference between basketball.
That would make sense. I don't know.
I don't know where he came with that
wingspan.
You just look at him. Like Schleg's is built more like an English bulldog
than he is, the next Jason Tatum, hypothetically.
And he wrestled.
Well, other than that, though, Bob.
He dribbles like Stanley off The Office.
Oh, come on. Supposed to be good at this, Stanley. I got a couple things for you guys. First off, rough morning yesterday for me. So I went to the dentist to get some new retainers because mine started to crack. And they were doing this putt-putt challenge with the Masters going on. And it was like you could either putt from anywhere from exactly
radio show breakout,
and you could putt anywhere from 1 to 6 feet. And the further you went back, the more like in-store in-house credit you got. I'm like, I'm not gonna putt 1 foot. Come on now, we're gonna go 6 feet.
So you got credit like towards your bill?
Yes,
that's awesome.
I know. And so because I saw it, they had it like a piece of paper in each room, like taped up, saying you want to do this. Well, as soon as I sat down, I'm like, you better believe I'm gonna do this. And right as I was finishing up, the hygienist was like, you want to take a shot at it? I'm like, oh, I guess. And I'm like, yes, of course I do. I had my red sweatshirt on, which I thought it'd bring me a little good Tiger Woods like.
Sunday Tiger.
Walked up to it, had a pretty unfortunate situation. Only had a right-handed putter.
Oh.
Which is just, if I had to do anything with my if I had to brush my teeth tonight with my right hand, I'd be in trouble. But I still gave it a shot. First one, I wouldn't say wide right, but it went right for sure.
That would be tough.
I know. And you would think 6 feet. I'm like, okay, I got this. Second and third ones, both just
Did they know you were left-handed?
Oh, yeah. Come on.
I bet they got a left-handed putter.
That got brought up pretty quickly.
I bet they had one, Bodie.
I noticed it as soon as they handed it to me, too. I tried to play it off, like, oh, I'm left-handed. They're like, oh, we're sorry. I'm like, well, you don't seem that sorry. But I gave it my best effort. When the second and then the third one especially lipped out, I was at least proud of myself for not,
you hit the
Bo
hole.
Jackson
They should have said
it because there should have been, some common ground there.
Who's going to do that and not provide a left-handed putter?
And especially you go to any putt-putt place, it's
they get the
multi-sided. Like you can go either way. And so like Ray Allen. That was tough. I was pretty disappointed in myself, and I was at least proud of myself though for not losing my mind, because I'm not going to lie. When I missed the third one, I was pretty pissed off. I'm not even going to lie about it. More so, not even really the in-store credit, just the competitive nature started burning.
Feels like that's where your bad review maybe somewhere.
I would say.
I give a bad review on Facebook or social media.
I'd call it discrimination.
Yeah, I think it is.
There's got to be
absolutely what it is. Yes.
Somewhere you got to draw a line in the sand. Yes. Exactly. What also has me juiced today, guys? Today's fan poll sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub. 2 years ago today, the world lost O.J. Simpson at the age of 76 years old. What would you consider to be Orenthal's best accomplishment? Got 4 options here. The 1968 Heisman Trophy, being the number 1 overall pick in the 1969 NFL Draft, 2,000 yards in just 14 games, or he's a college football and pro football Hall of Famer. We got a few write-in votes here already. Somebody wrote in a picture or sent in a picture of his book. Somebody wrote number 5, master of wielding a knife. Somebody sent in a Norm Macdonald gift. And somebody said the Naked Gun series. So, unfortunately, the fan poll, you can only do 4 options on
There's
Twitter,
a lot of options you can put in there.
Yeah. So that has me juiced to see what the results are. Maybe we can revisit that on Monday, Tito.
That's the best. The Norm Macdonald one where he says it's official. Murder is legal in the state of California after the verdict was read.
And the Pope wrote his book.
Right.
Titled, Of Course O.J. Did It. I mean, come on.
Right, yes. Oh, that Norm Macdonald stuff that he did on there all the time with the juice was awesome. Let's see. What's got me juiced, Bob? My wife has work gloves. I have gardening gloves that I sometimes use as work gloves. I can't wear work gloves. The hands are too small, but I've got some gardening gloves.
What does that mean? Too small?
Well, my wife's work gloves. If I try to wear them, my
hands
hands
are... You could get your own.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could. But that would just require me to work more. Fair? I mean, like right now, I can't do what you did. I have work gloves, Bob. I don't have it.
I did it with one. I didn't need a work gloves. I needed a work glove.
I mean, I've got a nice pair of mittens, but I can't really do much with that out there.
That's why they call you Whiskers.
That's what they call me, Whiskers. I've got mittens, Bob. What was the thing you had to get? A diamond something? Diamond saw?
Diamond blade.
Diamond blade.
Cut through the steel. I've got one for cutting. I have a diamond blade that cuts stone.
Right.
And I've used it to cut some metal things, but this is old school rusted steel. So I'm going to I needed something of some substance. I bought 2 of them because I planned probably one might get burned up.
Speaking of...
Good news is I don't have a faceplate, so I'm going to wear my kids' goggles while I'm doing it. So it's going to look sweet.
Protect your eyesight. That's the most important thing. Speaking of, gloves and golf, I cut this up and I completely forgot to mention it. But, it's supposed to be nice this weekend, so this is what I'll be doing all weekend after failing the putt-putt challenge yesterday.
Hit about 1,200 balls last night in preparation for today, so hands are a little tender.
Little blisters on there
case
for
of
the
the blisters.
dog.
That's why he wore those gloves. You think he wore some gardening gloves? Well, I forgot you cut. Well, we'll save time for Monday.
You can do it. We have time.
I haven't heard what's got you juiced that off.
Bob, there's not much to give. Look, I remembered. I thought back to a time when I had a huge, like a hornet's or some kind of nest in by the shed
sort
that we had.
Winged stinger animal,
whatever it was. And there's a picture of me somewhere. I went out there. I put my army gear on. Put your gear on, and this is like middle of summer.
Down.
I put a ski mask on also, and I was covered like head to toe.
Keep the bees from stinging in the eyes.
Right. Well, Bob, nothing exposed.
Never know. Oh.
And then I had my glasses on, and so I'm out there trying to get this thing down, and my glasses are fogging up. And there's like a picture of me swinging at it with my hand, which is covered at the time.
Why wouldn't you use a broom?
Wow. Listen, do you want... Anyway.
Did you have any spray?
No, I don't believe
oil.
No,
I say if you trap it in oil, it'll kill it because I can't breathe.
No, well, I could barely breathe with that ski mask on in the middle of summer. It was so damn hot, but there's a picture of me somewhere swinging at it and missing. Because it looks like it may as well be like a pinata type of thing is what it may as well have been.
What's this guy doing outside?
I was convinced one time, by the way, there was a platypus in our yard.
That's not.
There was a hole, Bob. There was a hole underneath our shed that went deep.
So you think that was caused by a platypus?
I saw it one morning. It was still kind of darkish.
Like a chupacabra out there?
Bob, something large like that. I didn't know about that until so that's what I thought it was a platypus. And I remember going out there and just trying to flood it out with my hose.
How'd that go?
He never came back.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what happened. If I successfully...
You wait till they get in there, you get a old T-shirt, you soak it in kerosene, you light it on fire and jam that bad boy down there. Then maybe pour a little more.
Do it.
Pour a little more in there on them too.
You want me near fire.
Get some dragon fire going at
yes. So what's got me juiced, Bob? I guess just thinking back the memories now of a dog threw up in my head and me damn near killing a platypus and also fogging up at the at the hornet's nest. Coming up next, we'll get AJ on here. We'll ask AJ, folks. Morning Juice.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons Sons, located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
I'm Meredith Garfalo, meteorologist at 10 TV News This Morning, and I'm an Ohio girl. I love golf, aerospace, and all things Ohio sports. For nearly 20 years, I've studied the patterns that shape our days, from winter wonders on the south side to dangerous storms along the I-71 corridor. When the weather changes, you'll be the first to know, because you need a forecast that moves as fast as you do. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Baseball is a business built on patience. From long seasons to long-term contracts, the smartest organizations know success isn't just about one big swing. It's about consistency, development, and managing resources over time. Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, President of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they help clients sustain success over time.
Winning teams invest in their farm systems, manage payroll wisely, and play the percentages. That same approach applies to your finances. At Riverside Bank of Dublin, we focus on steady growth and smart decision-making, and we invest in our people.
That's right, Travis. Riverside Bank helps create financial plans designed to last, not just for this season, but for years to come. Because whether it's building a championship roster or building financial security, fundamentals always win. Riverside Bank of Dublin, trusted, local, and committed to helping you succeed. Look for our new branch location in Bridge Park in Dublin.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring is here, and it's time to hit the road with something new from Germain Toyota. Right now, get into a rugged 2026 Toyota Tundra with just 2.99% financing for up to 72 months. Power, performance, and capability ready for every spring adventure. Or cruise into the season with a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for only $299 a month for 36 months and $39.99 due at signing. Fresh deals, fresh rides. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Maybe it was a family vacation or a school field trip. But there you were, standing in awe at a national park. We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Bobby's knees hurt from doing battle with some of football's toughest warriors. Tito's knees hurt from begging Bobby to let him host this show.
Oh, pick me! Oh, I know, me!
This is Morning Juice.
Normally we play some AJ songs here now. We came to the Ask AJ jingle now, can we, Brody? Dang. I said dang, fish, dang is what I said. Anyway, so we can't do that. But he joins us now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Gas Hotline. Good morning, AJ. We'll get you right out of the chat here. One of the questions we had in the chat was, what's your wife's, this is from Jeff Burns, Mental Half, what's your wife's most annoying habit?
Oh,
that's a good starter. Man, I don't know. Give me some examples. Can I get like a list of what do other people's wives do that are most annoying? I guess I'm not sure. Like
that's a veteran move by you. That's really
she doesn't like pick at her teeth when she's eating or anything like that. That's one thing that she has not done. But a couple old people that I've been around, I've been sitting there eating, and a couple of them have been sticking their fingers in their mouth and picking away at their teeth. And for some reason, that just makes me like instantly, I'm not hungry anymore. I can barely finish my steak. That's happened to me recently a couple of times, and I do struggle with that. But my wife does not do that, thankfully.
A couple of suggestions were mouth like a sailor, gassy in a bad way, often things like that.
No. If that was the case, we would have never been married. No.
The thing is, AJ is probably the one that has more of the annoying habits. This would be a better question to ask Laura.
Yeah, she had the list is long and distinguished. If she wanted to know the annoying habits that I have for her, because I agree, I can be annoying at times. And, if I ask a question and I don't get answered from either my wife or my kids, or they just don't respond, I'm going to ask that question 35 more times.
That's why I said that I'll say that in the room, AJ. And it's like, am I invisible? Like, is this real?
Oh, I say it all the time. I say, am I dead? Like multiple times a day. I'm like, hey, am I dead? Because there's 5 people in this room, and I have asked the question, and you guys have not even reacted. Like I'm not here, so it's like the Bruce Willis movie. I might be dead.
Like Sixth Sense, you just walk in there. Oh, Laura will go through AJ's laundry. I don't think they're annoying things. They're just his idiosyncrasies where she talks about how he has to wash his clothes every night, like individually. The best thing was he used to sleep straight up on the mattress. Like no sheet cover. And she's like, this guy, he's some sort of psychopath. And so that doesn't happen anymore. That was that's pretty remarkable because I love Age. Listen to her, just gassing her up on some of those and listen to her go off on some of your little stuff. One of the great running backs in Big Ten history passed away 2 years ago today, Mr. Orenthal James Simpson. How will you best remember OJ, AJ?
Well, I mean,
proud Big Ten member.
Technically, he is a Big Ten member when you think about it now with how it all goes. But what was it? He was the first one to get 2,000 yards in like 14 games.
Yeah,
that was the juice, right?
Yes, it was.
People don't know that. Everybody's get overshadowed by a few off the field situations with the juice. But yeah, I would say I remember OJ, and I don't remember much of his football career. I didn't get to see much on the field, but I did follow that trial for a while. The first one, that was when I was just a young kid. That's probably the searing memory I have thinking about OJ and the whole the gloves, the leather glove situation, which I've watched the documentary. I don't know what Darden was doing, having them try those gloves on. That was a huge mistake.
Bob, look in the chat at what Little Italy, he had a typo in there, and we can't read it on the air with the typo, but it certainly would be a funny one, though, if we could. He meant to say sink.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hair all over the sink kills me.
He didn't say sink, though, but he hasn't corrected yet either. Hair all over the sink, though, is one of the things he also is what Little Italy said, but they misspelled sink.
AJ, have you ever seen any of OJ's Twitter posts?
Yeah, back when he was still kicking, I do remember when he said, "Hello, Twitter world." I just remember the intro when he would do his little videos. I didn't really get past that, but how he said, "Hello, Twitter world," and he would go on and rant about something or give his opinions. That's all I do remember from his online profile.
I was always curious about it because he'd post them. They're always like him sitting in a golf cart at a golf course, just like, I don't know, waiting for the guys in front of him to hit. And there'd be someone else filming it. I always asked myself, like, if I would have allegedly murdered my spouse and my ex-wife and her boyfriend, who would be the guy that would go golfing with me still and take those videos for me? I mean, would you be someone that would be willing to do that, AJ?
I mean, yeah, that is a tough spot, Bob. I really hope we're not in that spot ever. I don't think we will, but yeah, I mean, I think I'd have to. I'd have to, like, we'd have to go to dinner and you guys explain to me what happened and why you didn't do it, and how we're going to be out on the hunt looking for who did do this.
Yes.
I don't think he did that much, but yeah, I'd film for you for sure. And then we'd always, when we're not filming, we're tracking down the people that committed that crime.
Well, they thought it was a white collar crime, so that's why he was looking on the golf courses.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. That's how it works.
Bob who would be who would be your AC Cowling? Would it be AJ or AS?
Oh, gosh, that's a great question, AJ. I mean,
I think Schleggs. They need to be Schleggs. Hey, don't worry, bro. We're going to get past this. Don't worry. It's okay. Don't do anything stupid. We're all right, buddy. Like, I think Schleggs he's very, very good in that kind of situation.
Yeah, I think Schleggs would 100%. He'd drive me back to my parents' house or something.
Yeah.
Would either one of them be more likely than the other to turn you in if they realized you had done it?
Oh, that's a good question. You got to talk age.
That's tough. See, like I teach my kids daily, like, hey, don't be snitching. Don't be snitching on your family for sure. Don't be snitching on your friends. Like, we don't want to do that. But no, yeah, I would. No, I'm not. I can't turn Bob in. No, I can't do that.
Did you ever watch the O.J. Simpson show that I think was on FX where Cuba Gooding Jr. plays O.J., Ross plays Kardashian, Travolta plays what's his name?
The lawyer, right?
Well, yes. Did you see that?
Shapiro.
Oh, yeah. I've seen all. Laura and I had read the OJ books back in the day, and I've definitely seen those. I mean, it's great television. When you see those, that Cuba Gooding Jr. show and the other documentary or docuseries stuff, you're like, man, how in the world did this guy get off? How did he not get convicted when you think about when they show everything that went on? Like, it's a wild situation.
Well, you mentioned Darden having him put the gloves on, like, and they didn't fit. And then Johnny gets up there and is just a wizard, and the glove don't fit. You must have quit. I mean, what else were they supposed to do?
You're right. Like, what an unbelievable situation when you sit there and look at all the factors that went into it, and the different, the prosecutors and then the defense lawyers, like the different teams that they built together. Like, yeah, what a wild time it was to be alive back then.
So you were gone last week. You were on your spring break, and speaking of OJ, you went down to St. Thomas. Did you guys? I know you're a guy that likes to get in the water. You're not somebody that lays and tans, despite how you look and what people might think. You're not someone that lays out a lot on vacation. Did you guys happen to go around some boat tours? Did you head over to Little St. James? I mean, what did we do down there?
We did. It was fun. Like, we had a good time. We did not we did sail by Little St. James and got to see that island a few times out and going there and back from where we were going on other little trips, where we took this like catamaran boat. We had I tell you what, we had some rough seas. It was more than light chop, as they would describe it if you were talking about the seas that day. We had some massive waves, big time wind. I'm a big puker on boats, and I didn't puke on the way out. We had like an hour boat ride out, didn't puke, and then I found a way to rebound and feel much better the rest of the day. But yeah, we did all kind of stuff there, man. I was in the water a bunch, and like you said, Bob, yeah, I'm not the tannest human alive. I can't really just lay there. So I threw a lot. I probably threw, man, I might need Tommy John with how many footballs I threw to all the different kids around the pool. I probably threw 1,500, 2,000 passes throughout the week. Frisbee, I'm a huge Frisbee guy, so I was diving in the ocean trying to catch the Frisbee, trying to get all the kids to be able to throw a nice, accurate Frisbee throw. Mm. So, yeah, I'm big into that kind of stuff. It was fun, though. I enjoyed it, and, can't wait till wherever I go next year.
Did the kids want to go up to Little St. James? Because that's all my kids talked about the whole time, was, like, getting up there on the island and doing – there's, like, really good snorkeling actually by it, but they did go on the island, too.
No, yeah, our kids definitely, yeah. There was, like, with our group, we had 3 different families. There was, I don't know, 15 kids at least. And, yeah, they all were intrigued, and even the youngest ones who didn't really know, but they'd heard the name of it, everyone was asking about it, and they're asking every adult they see, that whether it's like a taxi driver or anyone, the kids were asking about the island and if they'd been there, if they'd worked there, and all different kinds of stuff. So
they've worked there.
Yeah, I know it's being redeveloped and everything, so I don't know when that opens up or who's going to be there, but yeah, what a unique situation, and it's just right there, like it's not very far away at all.
They said you could see and hear the parties, like the lights and everything from over on St. Thomas. Yeah, on the week, because we stayed on Calpet Bay, which was right over on that side by it. So it was right there. RJ, if you're interested, he brought a mesh bag and brought back about 15 rocks or so. He's been giving them to some of his friends. They said that they were very interested in having one. So if you would like a rock from the beach of Epstein Island, then I mean, for your collection, you could have one.
Probably. Yeah, I might have to tell. I mean, that's like having a moon rock, pretty much, right? Yes. So I might have to call. I'll talk to. I'll tell RJ maybe save the Hawk family one of those.
We never had a follow-up conversation with when you confronted Brady at the bus stop about the fact he didn't tell you he was going to the Ring of Honor and all kind of stuff, whatever it was, with the OHSAA. Did you, in fact, have a confrontation in front of children on the bus about that? And has he thrown it in your face that he has gotten that honor and you have not?
You know what? I have not confronted him. I wanted to confront him in person about it. Even though I was with him on Easter, I didn't do it. I felt like this isn't the day. Can't be getting in a big fight here in Easter with everything going on. So I'm going to see him actually later today. I need to bring it up because you did send me a picture of him out there receiving that award, and I appreciate you sending me that. But no, we'll see. I don't know. He'll try to, he'll come up with some excuse of why he didn't tell me or something about why he's like he's just a humble servant and he's not going to sit there and broadcast all his great awards. So yeah, I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
You always said he's one of the great receivers of all time. So I'm glad he was able to take that award in an appropriate manner. When do you anticipate seeing him next?
I'll see him later today. I'm supposed to. Ooh. It's a, and it's
the
still,
FAC?
He lives. Maybe, yeah. We're always trying to get FAC. We got a little lacrosse game later tonight, so maybe before that we could. But every time we see Brady, especially when you see him like in the wild, like we're at like kids' basketball games, like his little daughters play basketball. Even his own sister, my wife, we're like, geez, you're just so tall. Like, what a big human, and just he's all legs too. You know, his hips come up to like my neck. How he's built, and he's just built like that. And so even like all of our friends, when Brady shows up at something, like, man, I forgot how tall he is. I'm like, yeah, he's a large human, large, big head, big, handsome guy. You know, like all those movie stars have big heads, and Brady is one of those. Can you imagine Brady on screen with some of these Hollywood actors? He would absolutely just look like a mammoth compared to them. So maybe we get him into acting. I don't know.
Both Chops and Christopher Watkins told me that's 5 generations of large family breeding. That's how you get to that.
That is true. Chopper's big on that.
AJ, we appreciate the time. Tell that pretty boy Brady Morning Juice said hello, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Thanks.
There was AJ Hawk. I think they asked the chat if AJ puts bronzer on for TV.
Yeah,
I think
maybe a little bit below the waist.
Yes, I saw that also.
So it's important to keep continuity.
Yes, you don't because you can't just
want the bikini lines,
right? You can't just tan part of your body, which is why I stopped wearing a bikini top when I tan, Bob. But with the Brady,
how do you get the support you need then?
It's a great point on that one, Bob. Yes, you will see some of the underbelly will be white this summer, where the rest on top is going to be dark. Brady, I believe, also probably wears bronzer, like just in public.
No, I think Brady's just naturally like him and Laura just literally absorb the sun like a sponge and just get so dark so fast. It's crazy town.
Great week this week, guys. Hey, Rifkin, we all back Monday?
I don't know. That shed might get me. I had the one glove. I was worried about getting tetanus, getting cut up. I got a couple slashes on my legs.
I noticed that. I couldn't tell if they were.
Oh yeah, they fell down. I was like, oh. Things swung down a little quick.
Not those.
I was worried, like on the other side, the one started bleeding again.
Look at that one, yeah.
Well, my wife, I showered and everything afterwards, and she yells at me when I get in the bed. Like, I don't use Band-Aids. Band-Aids are for kids.
Like Wolverine.
Yeah, dude, my blood, it just stops bleeding. But sometimes at night, like, the scab will stick to the sheet, and then I'll rip it, and then I'll just start bleeding again. And then
that's not a great time.
I told her, I'm sorry, I don't care. I can sleep in sheets that have blood in them or stay. It doesn't matter to me.
I was in the Army. I slept with sheets of blood in them too, Bob. But I was trying to tell you, and I mean this honestly, if you need any assistance this weekend, Heather's around. We don't have a lot of youth sports going on. Give her a call. She's got work gloves. And I can drive her over and drop her off if you need that. So
that's perfect. She'll appreciate the ride.
She would appreciate the ride.
Walking would be tough.
It would. I'm not going to make her walk to your house to help out, Bob. Come on now. I'm a man. Thanks a lot, folks. Tuning in all week. Thank you to AJ Hawk for joining.